Hello and welcome. Today I'll be showing you how to have a good storytelling element into anything that you're working on. Now I have two versions here. This one was a prototype version that is maybe for different things, but it doesn't really work. Well, it works good. It's just a long chain of commands, and if you want to use a lot of this, then it's going to be a lot of command blocks. So right here I have a screen one, and of course I want to make one without a screen, which is what this one is, but it's kind of lengthy. So if I just go ahead and activate this one, and then that's it. That's that whole chain right there, just on that simple sentence. And so then you can see how this one wouldn't go so well. But then you also can't have a big screen, just kind of like there. So I would recommend just kind of having it just kind of like that, just where it's just hello, or you just have it to where you have the action bar and it just says the whole thing instead of having it type each individual thing, because that is kind of lengthy if you kind of want it to slowly go on like that. So now I will actually show you this one, which is a little system that I made that I've showed off in another video, but I haven't gone over. So as you can see, this uses banners here, and it just kind of goes over this right here. I'll give it a golden apple. And good answer, and that's it. So now I will simply go over this right here. So the first thing that it does is it resets the marker. So I have a marker going along here, and it goes along. The marker starts here, which is what the reset marker thing does. I then set redstone there. I then remove the redstone that was placed here, and I clear the inventory of the user. So right here, this kind of resets the page in case there's anything still on it. Now this one moves the marker, so every tick the marker moves across to the right, and this one, and so then if it goes to the end of the page here, it'll detect if there's any markers in this area here, and it'll simply teleport it, I believe, 20 blocks this way, or actually probably to this Z point here, and down one. So then it goes on to the next line. And so then after it does that, then it copies the page. So if there's a banner, so whenever it's flying across and it spots a banner, then what it does is it clones from this position right here. So the X will be actually whatever the banner's on. So say the banner's on this row, the X would be 131. If the armor stands on this row, then it'd be 133. But it'll still have the same 15, negative 14 right in this corner here. So it teleports from there to whatever banner it's on. So say it's right here, then it copies from that position to here, copying everything in here, and then it puts it onto here. Now, anytime I'm doing any commands, I of course have a clone example where I just make a cube, and then I clone the cube, and then I see where the final position is, because the clone command takes in 3 arguments, or three positions. You can see the beginning, the ending, then the destination. So you always have to know which corner the final destination is on. So it's on the bottom right here. So I basically just copied whatever Z the armor stands on, and whatever Y as well, but then it puts the X as 138 because the X isn't going to change. So then it copies it, say, into this position here, and it basically copies it from there all the way to here. Well, it actually starts here and then goes all the way there, so it copies everything. What you could actually do is you could just actually copy 1, and copy it across. Oh well. So I just have it doing that. So after it copies it, then it actually slows it down because I found it was maybe going a bit too fast. So what happens is if it's, say it's on this banner here, and then it copies it, but then it moves it back by 0.5, and then it moves forward by 1, and then it moves back 0.5, and then it moves forward 1. So I just kind of have it going a little bit slower than it would need to there, and then it'll also play the sound. So if you want a custom sound for it, then you can do that. If you don't, then don't put play sound. So then, of course, next page. I have a system set up here, so if the armor stand lands on a red block here, then it'll go into the 15 negative 14, yeah, 15 negative 14 area here, except it'll go back 2 on the X, so say it hits that red block, then it'll go back 2, so now it's at 129, but it's at 15 negative 14, yeah, 15 negative 14. And so then it does that, and then it would clear the page since it's on a new thing. And then of course if it lands on a yellow, then it halts the dialogue, meaning it stops the armor stand from moving. So then what would happen is, say it's here, and then it gets told to halt, the armor stand is actually still going, and so then it'll actually teleport all the way over here and then fall down in one of these 4 locations here. So whenever the system wakes back up, it'll be like, oh, you're on a red block, so it'll teleport the marker back up to this position here. And so then, after that, it'll actually start the next. So say it's here, it copies the X and Z component, but puts the Y at 4, and places redstone block. So these are all kind of activating things. So you can have, so it'll give the player a golden apple and a sword. It'll also check items. So say you throw out the golden apple, it'll check like, oh, hey, you threw out a golden apple. And so then if you throw out a golden apple, then that means that that it does whatever this one wants it to do. So it teleports the stand into this position right up here. So then it'll play this one and then stop. Or it could play this one and continue going, but it's not red. And so then the sword, if it detects the sword, then it'll go to that position up there and then stop after it does it. But then, of course, this only teleports it. But then these right here, these actually start the system up again. So it detects any items away from the player. So whenever you throw an item, it's next to you, but then it gets thrown, like, so if I just had it checking for any item, then it would automatically start the system without checking the item. So it checks the item, and then after it goes away from the player, then that's whenever it activates it. So I have range, I believe, yeah, range minimum equals 2, or no, range maximum equals 2, so it has to be away from the player by 2 blocks. For this to start. I believe the center of your player is actually your feet instead of your face. So it does that. It removes the item, meaning it just kills the item, and then it'll clear all the other responses. So it'll clear the inventory, and then it'll remove the redstone here. And this check any item actually starts the system up again here. Then it'll start going across and stuff and ending up other places. So if you just throw any item, then it'll be like, oh, hey, there's an item, but it won't teleport it anywhere, so it'll actually still be on the red blocks there, and it'll just simply go to the next one and be like, what? And then stop and reset to the position up there. So you can do a lot of interesting things with this, and yeah, I find it very interesting. So I can actually show it in action here. If I just press this, you can see the armor stand going across and then kind of being slowed down at those parts, and then copying it across. And so then it goes across. Tim already have partner, and then it says, what do you think of Tim's partner? and then you're given these two options, and you can pick whichever one you like, or you could just get a random item here, say just a door, and then it was on those red blocks there, and so it goes, it says what, and then it restarts. What do you think of Temp's partner? And it does that again. And so then see, the armor stand stops at that position there. So yeah, it's very interesting. And yeah, hopefully you'll be able to use this for your own devices and stuff like that. Now what you could do, you could add, you can add other types of concrete, like a green concrete. So you want to skip a line so it doesn't like take so long to go to the center of the screen to print that. So you could have like a green block here, and then it'll teleport here, but then it'll be like, oh, there's a green block, and then it'll go down like say 1 or 2 or whatever, so then it's automatically talking and stuff like that. So you can add different types of concrete, and this is, and once you get the system down, it's pretty easy to expand off of it because of how the system works. So you just need to make sure with the next line your range is the correct amount. So say it's all the way over here, then you need to change the range on that so it includes everything in that area. So yeah, that is everything with that. Now I just wanted to say that I am thinking about what to do with the DELTACRAFT project, or the Deltarune in Minecraft project, whatever you want to call it. Now I have like two or three options. First option being I continue how I was going to continue, doing everything on the Bedrock edition, or I could start doing it on the Java edition. Now with the Java edition, I'll be able to go more in detail in everything that's happening, because I would have models and stuff like that, specific models and specific and like a texture pack and all that, because if I were to do it in here, I would probably just have an armor stand, unless of course something changes, because well, yeah. So yeah, there's like 3 options here. One, I make it on the Java edition. I'll be able to have more stuff and actually do more stuff and have it more in depth of what I could do with it and make it like really like good. Or I could do it on this edition to where I'll be able to get stuff done more quickly, but it won't necessarily be as good, because you don't have the same full capacity that you have with the Java edition. But of course, the third option, and I'm not really sure about this option, but I could do it on both editions. So I have one on the Bedrock edition, which will come out sooner, but won't be as of good quality. Then I'll have one on the Java edition, which will come out in way better quality, and but it'll take a little while to do that. So I wanted to get your opinion, and I believe I should have a poll on this video. So yeah, I'm asking you guys what I should do, because I'm not sure yet. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I wanted to say. Bye.